Okay, another short reloading video. In this video, I'm going to talk about a Wildcat cartridge that I'm working on for my AR-15 here. This is another upper that I'm putting together. This is a TAC-30, which is a 30 caliber version of the 6.8 SPC. It's a very simple single step Wildcat, so it's really easy. There's no fire forming, no false shoulder forming. Basically, you more or less neck up the cartridge to 30 caliber, and then you trim it down and move the shoulder back just a little bit. And all of the resizing can be done in one step, and the trimming afterwards. But figuring out where to set the die up is this is that process. So in this case, I'm going to resize a little bit, trim it, and check and see if it's okay. And then I'll resize a little more, and then maybe I'll have to trim it again depending on how long it gets when I push the shoulder back, and on and on. But the point is, I've got the case inside of here right now. It's been mostly resized, and the procedure for checking whether the shoulder is in the right place and the headspace is correct is whether or not the back end is flush with the receiver. If you put no cartridge in here and just push the bolt group in, it would be flush here in the back. And you better verify that at the beginning. Most receivers are pretty much the same at this point, but I can feel with my finger a little bit of a lip. Basically, the carrier's a little far back, which means I got low headspace up here, and the bolt's not really able to get in the right spot. So I'm gonna pop out the case, and it's gonna eject this way. And oh, come on, out, out, out. Ah. All right, there's our case. I don't have a regular unloaded 6.8. Maybe I have some ammo. I know I have some ammo in here. All right, I'll grab you a 6.8 case for comparison. So this cartridge has some different names. There's 30 Harriet AR. There's 30 Harriet rimless, etc. TAC-30 they're not all the same, guys. So don't tell me, oh, there's a difference in trim length. I know. They're not all the same, but you can see here that this particular chamber is designed for a case that's trimmed slightly shorter than a 6.8 SPC is. And you can see the shoulder is quite a bit less because the case is quite wide at the mouth. So how do you make this? Well, it's really simple. The people who developed this made this one easy. Basically, this is an old Thompson Center pistol 30 Harriet die. 30 Harriet was just a 30-30 rifle cartridge that's ran into 30 Harriet dies, and boom, you got I don't know if you have to trim those. Basically, I assume so, but you have 30 Harriet for an old Thompson Center. And we've developed with a 6.8 SPC similar thing. Well, they basically wanted the shoulder profile that these old dies give, so we just run the case up into them. All right, now what I know is this case, when I put it into the receiver and pushed it into the barrel, it didn't give me a flush feel in the back. So I know I have to size it more. All right, as far as I have to get that shoulder down farther. So in this case, I left this where it was. It's just going to be a little further. And I'm getting pretty close to the point where the shell holder is just going to touch the die. And that's actually where you're told to kind of start. But I kind of wanted to feel my way down to there. So I'm going a little bit at a time, pushing that shoulder back. I can see it working on the shoulder because I can see the shoulder changing shape and getting shorter. I don't know if you can see in this, maybe this lighting, but there's a band here of lighter metal right in the center of that. Okay, about right here. There's a band of metal right here going all the way around it. I think you can see that. That's kind of the original shoulder of the case. So you can see we've moved the shoulder of the case up quite a bit. Now this is a 1570 trim and a 1580 max. So I had it at 1570. So I've gained about 1,000th, and these are not the best. These are not the best calipers. Okay, I think I've proved that over my other videos. They're really not. So 15715. So it's grown a little bit in size, pushing the shoulder a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is show you, and it's the ejector is in this bolt. It would be easier without the ejector in there, but I'm not going to run it with the ejector not in there. So I'm going to do this with the ejector in there, which makes it a little harder, but it's worth it. So bear with me here. This is how you get this back in there. I got to get it in there around the extractor. Okay, come on. I got to get it around the extractor and then depress the ejector, and then it'll go into the barrel. So there we go. I got it in there. Now it's just got to get, hold on long enough to get it into there. Okay. So you got to push it in all the way. All right. And then feel the back. This feels pretty good. I think I need to go further because I can kind of feel it's still up. So out it's going to come, and I'm going to do this process one more time. But I've showed it to you, so I'm not going to belabor the point, making you deal with me belaboring the point. So once this is flush in the back, I'll know that the case is right, and I'll mark for this press, I'll mark this die where it's at as far as being screwed down. And basically, it's going to end up being flush with the shell holder is most likely where it's going to end up being. So right there. And I will make a note of maybe it's just flush with the shell holder. And then from then on, basically that's set. And I can just worry about the difficulties in using this very old die to resize the cases. You can get these still, but they're a special order and they're kind of expensive. I found this one on eBay. But it's a great cartridge, good deer cartridge. Good for hogs if you're in the south. It's got a lot of power, so I'm really hoping it'll be fun to shoot.